On a street corner in Japan, you might still spot a public phone. A small booth, or just a phone on a stand, quietly waiting. Most of us walk straight past them now. With a smartphone in every pocket, they can feel like a relic. The number of them has dropped sharply over the years. And yet, something strange happens after a big earthquake. Officials remind everyone to remember where their nearest public phone is. Schools even teach children how to use one. So here is the puzzle. Why does an old coin phone matter so much in the age of the smartphone? To understand it, picture the moment a large quake hits. In an instant, millions of people reach for their phones at the same time. Everyone is trying to call family, all at once. The mobile network simply cannot carry that flood of calls. To stop the whole system from collapsing, the carriers deliberately limit traffic. So your smartphone shows a cold little message, call failed. It is not broken, and you are not unlucky. The network is protecting itself by turning most calls away. And in that moment, the device you trust most goes quiet. Now here is where the public phone is different. A public phone is treated as what is called a priority phone. That means it is largely exempt from those traffic limits. When ordinary calls are being turned away, the public phone is not. It sits on a line designed to stay open in an emergency. So while the mobile network is jammed, that humble booth can still connect. It is not magic, just a deliberate choice in how the system is built. The old phone was quietly given a place near the front of the queue. There is a second problem in a disaster: the power often goes out. Your home phone and your charger go dead with it. But a public phone does not draw its power from the wall. It is fed a small current from the telephone exchange, down the line itself. So even in a blackout, it can still make a call. There is one catch worth knowing, though. During a power cut, the card readers stop working. So you cannot use a prepaid phone card, you need actual coins. A single 10-yen coin in your bag can suddenly become very important. You might wonder about paying at the worst possible moment. In certain serious disasters, public phones can be made free to use. When an event is large enough to trigger Japan's disaster relief law, and power is widely out, the phone company can decide to lift the charge. On a newer digital phone, you simply lift the handset and dial. On an older analog one, you may still drop a coin in first. But in that free mode, the coin is returned to you afterward. It is worth being clear, this is a decision made case by case, not an automatic rule. Still, it means money is not what stands between you and a call. A public phone also opens a second door. In a major disaster, the phone company switches on a voice message board, reached by dialing 171. You call it, record a short message, and tag it with a phone number. Family elsewhere can dial the same number and hear that you are safe. It is run on systems spread across the whole country. So your message is stored far away from the crowded disaster zone, where lines still have room. Public phones, and the special phones set up at shelters, can reach this board. One short recording can calm a worried family hundreds of kilometers away. So the public phone is not really a relic at all. The very things that make it seem old are what make it survive. It is wired, not wireless, so the network jam matters less. It is powered down the line, so the blackout matters less. Their numbers have fallen, but a core network is kept as a lifeline. Two small habits go a long way here. Know where your nearest public phone is, and keep a coin or two set aside. And if you know someone who has never used one, it might be worth showing them how.